we have today with us the founder and CEO of Kagas, Shihanshu Gandhi. Welcome to our show.
Hi Kunal, thank you for having me here.
As we all know, okay, that today many of the apps got banned. Okay, the Chinese app and most of the famous app which was there was Scam Scanner, which has been used by the government organizations too. Okay, that has been banned, and then we got Kagas. So tell me something about that. That how and why you have started this Kagas, because there are many other such kind of applications also available.
Sure. So Kunal, we launched the app before actually the ban happened. The app was launched on 15th of June 2020, and it was so we've been working on our startup and another product called Sorted AI for more than a year now. And while we were building that, there's one part of it which was related to document management, leveraging artificial intelligence for helping people manage their documents. And from that, the idea of a scanner came to us that we should look at building a scanner. But we did not take it up initially. Later on, when there was this Atmanirbhar call made by our honorable Prime Minister and
Yes.
Vocal for Local, and all of that conversation started building up in Indian ecosystem, we realized that there is th- not a great scanning tool available which is Indian. Most tools that are being used are Chinese or American tools that people have been using. So we thought, it gels well with our product that we had been building earlier. Let's make a scanner ourselves. And since it was, in a sense, born with the idea of Atmanirbhar Bharat, we wanted to have a very Indian name to it. It is built for Indian people, and that's why we named it Kagas Scanner. And we launched it on 15th of June 2020. Of course, the ban happened 15 days later. On 29th of June, the ban was announced. And then, of course, we got a great amount of traction, a lot of love from our users in the last 4 months that the product has been there.
See, the ban happened due to the privacy features, right? So I want to ask that
Right.
what are the privacy features you have on your application? Definitely, we know that the data center will be in India itself. That's fine. But what is the privacy features? Means what are the securities features over there? Because you are also working on an AI system with that.
Right. So, Kunal, the most important part and most important feature, security feature is your data is completely offline. Your data is not going over any cloud servers. It's not like there's not even a conversation of Indian server or an outside server because your data stays on your phone. You can use the app completely offline. You don't need internet to use Kaga Scanner. So your documents are not going anywhere. We are not looking at your documents. You have complete control on your documents. Of course, when we launch our cloud storage solution, which we are going to bring in very soon, where people will be able to back up their documents so that if something happens to their phone, they don't lose their documents. In that scenario, also, we have first is, of course, our documents, our cloud storage is going to be on Indian servers. Secondly, which is the more important part, is all the documents that are going to be stored on our cloud servers in future are also going to be completely encrypted, that no one will be able to look at that document. It is bank grade encryption, 256-bit encryption that we are using to make sure that the documents are completely secure. And thirdly, we are also having features like very simple features but add a lot of security value for the users, that you can lock your app on your phone. So even if your phone is in hands of someone else, they cannot look at your documents, important documents, without that lock on your app, the pin for that lock on your app. So you can also do that. But all in all, the most important feature is you can use Kaga Scanner completely offline. If you don't want to upload documents to cloud, you have complete control on that. You can choose to use the app completely offline all the time, and then your data security is not at all a concern because nothing is moving to a cloud server.
How you came into a startup, means how the startup idea arises on your mind. Okay, because
Sure.
today is something like everybody is doing some startup. Okay, so when our Modi ji said that it's Atmanirbhar Bharat, and he is already from his 2014. He's focusing on generation of employment. Okay, rather going for the
Right.
job, right? So how this is coming to your mind, and how this also gets started?
So, Kunal, startup journey for me and my co-founders Gaurav and Tamanjit did not start with actually Kagas. We have done one startup together before this for over 4 years. So we started our first company in 2015, which was a home services company, providing maintenance services to users in tier 2 cities. We were present in cities like Visakhapatnam, Patna, Jaipur, and Gurgaon. And in terms of employment generation, we've been working in that space. We did that for 4 years. We had at one point over 300 people altogether employed in different capacities in our company, including technicians like electricians, plumbers, etc., as well as our core team managing these operations. So that's how our journey for towards entrepreneurship started. And as a team, this is our second startup together. This again started for us was more of as a personal problem that we wanted to solve of managing information, managing documents for ourselves, which we were facing challenges, and that's where we started building the idea of Sorted AI, which is an AI powered utility tool, an app that helps you manage your documents automatically, manage your various information pieces automatically,
Okay,
leveraging the artificial intelligence, so that you don't have to put the effort. So that's how the story, entrepreneurship journey started for us.
okay. So have you guys raised funds till now?
We did raise some funds. We have raised an angel investment from First Check, which is a fund which through which some angels invested in our company, and we've also raised some money from Axelar Ventures as part of their accelerator program. Yeah, so that's been our fundraise so far.
Okay, so I want to know that how IIT Kanpur has helped you to your journey.
Sure. So my co-founder Gaurav is an IIT Kanpur alumnus. He's a graduate from 2014 batch, and IIT Kanpur has been very supportive in terms of helping us spread the message of Kagas and helping us spread the value proposition of Kagas. The you know the Dean of Alumni Relations, Professor Jayant, has endorsed our product. He's helped us get endorsements from IIT Kanpur, recognizing our efforts, recognizing the product that we built through the IIT Kanpur recognition. We were eventually also recognized by Ministry of Education of India, and it is through the help that we got through our recognitions that we got from IIT Kanpur, being Gaurav being alumnus of IIT Kanpur. So that's definitely been something that IIT Kanpur has helped us uh, in the last few months.
What are the two main biggest challenges which your team has faced to coming to this journey?
Sure. So Kunal, when you look at competition, it always looks like that's going to be a big challenge. You're competing with some of the international players who have been in this space for more than 3, 4, 5 years, even 10 years in some cases, and you're trying to compete with them. That looks like definitely a big competition, and it is a challenge that we see. But I would say the larger challenge for us is to be able to understand what our users what do our users need, and to solve for that, build a product that our users love. That is, I think, the biggest uh, challenge, or in the sense, that's the biggest focus area for us, that this is something that we want to be very focused on, making sure that we don't miss out on that front, that what our users want. Of course, competition is something that we keep an eye on, but our larger focus is on how do we build the product which people love. And secondly, entrepreneurship is a team sport. We want to be build we want to build a great team which can help us build the kind of products and the kind of company that we want to build and serve our users. So So from that perspective, finding the right kind of talent to join your team, which there's a culture fit and there's a skill set fit. All of that is one big challenge area for us. Not that a challenge that we can't solve for, but that's something that we definitely are very, very clear that we want to be very sure who we take on team and how do we make sure that we build a great team.
Definitely. So, what are the challenges you are facing now during the COVID-19 pandemic?
Honestly, Kunal, in terms of COVID, what we were doing earlier, the first product that we were building sorted, the whole idea of bringing up Kagas came uh, more so in COVID. It becomes more relevant in COVID scenario. So in that sense, we've seen this as an opportunity here for us. Of course, there are challenges. Everyone's working from home. We can't sit in an office together and build things. We have to work remotely. Those are some of the changes that we have adjusted to. But we've also looked at opportunities in this scenario, like how do we build a business that makes sense to people in the current scenario. And that's where, when we saw that a lot of people now working from home, so they need to keep scanning documents for their work requirements. There are a lot of people who are a lot of students who are now dependent on online education. So for them, notes, assignments, everything is now to be scanned and uploaded. So that's where we also saw an opportunity that the scanner is going to be much more relevant in these times, and we saw this as an opportunity. In terms of challenges, of course, work from home is a challenge, but luckily for us, we are a small team. We're just 4 5 members in the team, and we've been able to manage it remotely as well. I think the times are tough. The challenges are uh, unforeseen for most people. For a lot of smaller businesses who have a retail or an offline kind of presence, it is definitely more challenging. For us, since it is a completely online kind of a business, it has not been that difficult, honestly, other than the smaller things around, managing team and that kind of thing. So yeah, that's how we see the COVID.
See, as you are from the AI background, okay, so I want to ask that how AI in the future is going to be part of our larger part of our ecosystem. Because today, in every part, we see the AI is coming up.
Sure, sure. So Kunal, the AI is it's still in nascent stages in terms of development as a technology and what kind of use cases it will come up with, but definitely is going to be a central part of what we do in the next decade or so. It's going to be central to a lot of things that we do. That's where we are focused on. I mean, in terms of our focus is making sure we help people manage information overload in their daily lives so that they can focus on what is more important to them and let mundane, repetitive tasks being taken care of by AI. I think that's the core value proposition that AI brings, that it can take, so the machines can take care of things that are repetitive and non-value adding in a lot of sense, where your cognitive capabilities of human mind is not used completely. Those kind of tasks can be given to machines, to the AI, so that humans can focus more on things which are more creative or value adding in a lot of different sense. So that's how we are focusing at AI. Of course, I see a lot of great things happening in other sectors using AI. A lot of work in healthcare happening around AI in terms of diagnosis of diseases and making sure that diagnosis can be faster and better. A lot of work in agri happening around AI for improving the quality and logistics and supply chain efforts. So definitely is going to be central to a lot of things that we are going to be doing in future, and it's for good. I mean, it should take care of regular things and let humans focus on things which are more value adding overall.
Okay, so talking on the AI part itself, we have many benefits on that. Okay, but definitely we are getting many of the demerits also. What suggestion do you have as a fresh mind to stop these kind of things? Can AI can stop the AI part? Is there something what AI can do?
Uh, See, a lot of what things that you mentioned are dependent on what people are going to share across different social platforms. It is, of course, a choice that people make in terms of sharing their, face recognition, and those kind of things are see, the core premise of all technology and core premise of AI is to make lives easy for people, and progress overall as for the world to move towards more progress. And that's the core hypothesis on which everyone, I firmly believe that every tech person who is involved in any kind of technology development is always looking at it from the perspective of how much value adding it can be. Are there people who are going to make misuse of it? Yes, there will be people who will come up, look at misusing this, and that's when the other people who are looking at good side of the technology will come up with solutions. It's same like how software got built, and then viruses got built, and then antiviruses got built as well. So all of this is a cycle that will continue. It's like any other technology, not anything specific that is towards AI that needs to be done differently. It's just that people have to be conscious about what they want to share over different social networks, as well as the companies are going to be much more cognizant of how AI could be misused, and are going to be working on that front as well. So, I mean, from our example point of view, we are doing everything to make sure that your data, documents, etc., are completely encrypted so that they cannot be misused. That's an effort that we are putting in to make sure AI, while it is helping you, it should not be misused. Similarly, other segments also, there'll be people who will be doing stuff, and problem will be addressed
One
accordingly.
more thing, what we are seeing that data privacy is a big matter when it comes to the European countries, okay, American countries, and other places. But it's not yet in India, and India is working on it, right? So, what do you think when the next data privacy law is going to come? Okay, what do you think? What all things should be there which secures the data privacy?
I don't know if I'm in the right position to comment a lot on that, but in general, the sense that I have is, of course, Europe has very strong GDPR regulations there, which protect privacy of the citizens there, and that is good for the ecosystem overall. It should be in place. Those kind of laws should be in place to make sure that everyone feel safe when they share their data, because the value of AI and everything comes only when people are willing to uh, share some of their data. And at that point, it is our job as providers of those AI services to give them the comfort that their data will not be misused, or it will not be basically not misused in any way that could harm them. So that's where the laws become important. It puts everyone in line with making sure that their systems are developed for data privacy. Uh, One of the big parts of GDPR, and that's how I'm sure the Indian laws are going to be also built, is when the data is shared, it is personally identifiable information should not be shared with anyone. So if I have someone has uploaded some of their important documents onto any platform, uh, the AI could help them by analyzing those documents and make it more useful for them. But that company should not expose their personally identifiable information, basically, which can show that this document belongs to this person. That kind of information should not be shared with anyone. If at all it needs to be shared, it has to be very consent based. That if user has consented that yes, you can share my documents or information with someone because the user is going to get something in return of it, then that's something that should be part of these laws. That how are we going to make sure consent is taken at all steps, and how are we going to make sure that personally identifiable information is not shared without the consent of the user.
Okay. So now coming to the Kagas again. What is the future of Kagas?
Tons of things that we are working on, Kunal. Right now, the focus is on the scanner product to make sure that it is a world-class product and something that creates a lot of value for our users. Immediately in pipeline, what we have is a cloud storage solution. As I said that, people should not lose their documents if they lose their phone, basically, or something happens to their phone. And a large part of our users who are the Bharat users, the users who have come to internet only recently, since the Geo revolution happened, a lot of those users today are completely dependent on their mobile phones only. They are not users like who have more than one device. They are dependent on their mobile phone for everything, and that is also an organized storage space for them. So we don't want that something happens to their phone, or people change their phones every 2 years, 3 years. They should not lose their important documents. So immediate focus for us is after the scanner product, we are also going to introduce a cloud storage solution within Kagas, where people can back up their documents and then use them from anywhere, from a different device also. And then in future, not very far actually, we are going to bring in the AI elements, where we'll make it easier for people to get more organized. Our AI engine will help people organize their documents, the information, and make it more useful and actionable for them, setting up various different things for them automatically. So that's our focus area immediately in the next few months.
So can we see Kagas as a default scanner on their mobile phones?
Absolutely, that's the idea. That's what we are striving towards. That it should be a product that is loved by the users, and they want to have it as a default, scanning and storage device, storage application on their phone, and that's what we are building towards. Fingers crossed, we'll have it hopefully soon.
That's great. Any message for the viewers?
Nothing specific. I mean, these are difficult times, so please make sure that you continue to strive on whatever you want to do in your life. Anything, when you come out of this, everyone will be much stronger. And keep using Indian apps. Keep supporting Atmanirbhar Bharat. Use Kaga Scanner. Let us know your feedback. We are always improving the product for the users.
Definitely, definitely. And viewers, keep reading our news feeds also. We provide platform for the startup to grow, to showcase their stories and share inspiring stories with all of you. So today we are having with us Shihanshu Gandhi. Okay, definitely we will get you some other entrepreneurs in the coming days. Thank you, Shihanshu. Great speaking with you.
Thank you, Kunal. Same here.